The average car engine rolling off the assembly line today is engineered to last 200,000 miles or more, built with tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch and metallurgy that would have seemed impossible just decades ago. Yet most engines never make it past 120,000 miles before requiring major repairs or complete replacement. In the next 20 minutes, you'll discover the 14 monthly habits that separate engines lasting 300,000 miles from those dying at 100,000. These aren't complicated procedures or expensive treatments. They're simple checks that take minutes but add years to your car's life. Miss even one of these habits and you could be cutting your engine's lifespan in half without realizing it. But master all 14, especially the surprising bonus technique at the end that most mechanics don't even know about, and your engine could easily outlast everything else on your car. Tip number 1, check engine oil level and condition. What if I told you that 90% of catastrophic engine failures start with one simple oversight? Your engine oil isn't just lubrication, it's the difference between smooth operation and metal grinding against metal at 3000 RPM. When oil gets dark, gritty, or drops below the minimum line, your engine is literally eating itself alive, wearing down pistons, cylinders, and bearings with every mile you drive. Here's your monthly ritual. Pull that dipstick when the engine's cool, wipe it clean, reinsert it fully, then check both level and color. Clean oil should be amber or black, but smooth, never grainy or metallic. Top it off if it's low, change it if it's contaminated. 2 minutes of inspection beats $2,000 of repairs. Tip number 2, inspect coolant reservoir. Picture this, you're cruising down the highway when steam suddenly erupts from your hood like a geyser. That's what happens when coolant systems fail, and it turns your engine into expensive scrap metal in under 5 minutes. Your cooling system is under constant pressure, battling temperatures that could literally melt aluminum, and the only thing standing between you and disaster is that translucent plastic reservoir under your hood. But that's not all. The color tells the whole story. Fresh coolant glows bright green, orange, or pink depending on your car's system, but contaminated coolant looks rusty brown or milky white, signaling internal leaks or combustion gases mixing where they shouldn't. Never open the radiator cap when hot, but always check the reservoir level monthly when cold. If it's low, find out why before topping off. Your engine runs at optimal temperature or it doesn't run at all. Tip number 3, inspect belts and hoses. A $30 serpentine belt just snapped and left a family stranded for 3 hours in Death Valley last summer. Their alternator died, power steering quit, and the engine overheated all at once. It gets crazier when you realize that belt probably showed warning signs for months before it finally gave up. Belts develop cracks along their ribs, become glazed and slippery, or start squealing under load, while hoses get soft and spongy or develop tiny stress cracks that leak coolant slowly at first, then catastrophically later. Run your eyes along every belt for fraying, cracking, or glazing. Then press down with moderate force. It should deflect about ½ an inch, no more, no less. Squeeze every hose you can reach. They should feel firm and solid, not mushy or rock hard. The reason this matters so much is simple. These components fail suddenly and spectacularly, usually when you're far from help and desperately need your car to work. Tip number 4, inspect battery terminals and cables. Here's a surprising insight that stumps even experienced drivers. Most mysterious electrical problems aren't electrical at all. They're corrosion problems masquerading as complex malfunctions. And they start at your battery terminals, where acid vapors create crusty white and green deposits that act like insulators between metal connections. Here's where most folks slip up. They ignore these terminals until their car won't start, then blame the battery when the real culprit is a connection that's literally being eaten away by chemistry. Clean terminals with baking soda and water monthly. Scrub away all corrosion with a wire brush, then coat them with petroleum jelly or terminal protector spray. Check that clamps are snug but not over-tightened. Loose connections cause voltage drops that make your entire electrical system act erratic. Your car's computer needs clean, solid power to function properly. One corroded terminal can trigger a cascade of weird symptoms that'll send you chasing ghosts for weeks. Tip number 5, check air filter. Think of your engine as a massive air pump that needs to breathe freely to perform at its peak, and that breath comes through one critical component that most people forget exists until something goes wrong. A clogged air filter doesn't just reduce power, it forces your engine to work harder for every molecule of oxygen, burning more fuel while delivering less performance in a downward spiral that costs you money with every mile. But the road doesn't end here. This simple inspection reveals everything you need to know about your engine's health. Remove the air filter element, hold it up to bright light, and if you can't see through it clearly, your engine can't breathe through it either. Tap it gently to dislodge loose dirt, but never blow it out with compressed air, which can damage the filtering material. A clean filter means optimal air-fuel mixture, better gas mileage, and an engine that responds instantly when you press the accelerator. Tip number 6, check tire pressure and alignment. Most drivers never realize they're stealing power from their own engine every single day through one completely preventable oversight that costs them hundreds of dollars annually in wasted fuel and premature wear. Underinflated tires create rolling resistance that forces your drivetrain to work overtime, while misaligned wheels make your car fight itself with every rotation, burning energy that should be moving you forward instead of being converted to heat and tire scrub. But listen to this twist. Even 2 psi low doubles your rolling resistance, and that pressure drops naturally about 1 psi per month regardless of how well your tires are sealed. Check pressure when tires are cold using your own reliable gauge, not those sketchy ones at gas stations, and compare against the sticker in your door jamb, not the maximum rating molded into the tire sidewall. Properly inflated, aligned tires let your engine breathe easy and your wallet stay full. Tip number 7. Inspect PCV valve. Ever wonder why some engines develop thick, gooey sludge that eventually chokes them to death while others stay clean for hundreds of thousands of miles? The secret lies in a tiny, inexpensive valve that most car owners have never heard of: the positive crankcase ventilation valve, which prevents your engine from literally drowning in its own fumes and moisture. But listen to this twist. This little plastic or metal component costing less than $20 is the unsung hero, preventing thousands in engine damage by constantly evacuating harmful gases and water vapor that would otherwise turn your oil into toxic sludge. Locate the PCV valve connected to your valve cover by a rubber hose, pull it out and shake it vigorously next to your ear. A healthy valve rattles freely while a stuck one stays silent and lets contamination build up inside your crankcase. Replace it immediately if there's no rattle, clean the hose connections, and reset your engine's breathing system. This 5-minute check prevents expensive internal engine cleaning procedures. Tip number 8. Check for fluid leaks. Your driveway is actually a diagnostic tool that reveals your car's secrets every single morning, telling stories about seals, gaskets, and connections that are slowly failing beneath your vehicle. But that's not all. Every drop you ignore today becomes a flood tomorrow, and what starts as a minor seepage often escalates into catastrophic component failure when you least expect it. Move your car from its usual parking spot and inspect the ground carefully. Dark oil spots indicate engine or transmission leaks. Bright green or orange puddles mean coolant problems. Clear or red fluid suggests power steer or brake issues, and any fluid loss means something is wearing out faster than it should be. The reason this matters so much is timing. Catching leaks early means replacing a $20 gasket instead of rebuilding a $2,000 transmission. Wipe up every drip, trace it to its source, and address the root cause before minor maintenance becomes major surgery. Early detection saves massive money. Tip number 9. Scan for error codes. Most engine problems develop silently for weeks or months before triggering warning lights, quietly damaging components while your dashboard stays completely dark and reassuring. Modern engines are constantly monitoring dozens of sensors, fuel trims, emission systems, and performance parameters, storing trouble codes the moment anything drifts outside normal ranges, but they only illuminate warning lights when problems become serious enough to affect drivability or emissions. But the engine has one more secret. An OBD2 scanner plugged into the port under your dashboard reveals these hidden issues instantly, giving you advance warning about failing oxygen sensors, misfiring cylinders, or fuel system problems before they strand you or damage expensive components. Run a quick scan monthly, research any codes that appear, and address pending issues during your next maintenance visit, rather than waiting for emergency repairs on the roadside. Think of it as a monthly health checkup for your car's brain. Prevention beats expensive reaction every time. Tip number 10. Inspect spark plug wires and coils. Imagine your engine cylinders as individual athletes in a relay race, and spark plugs are the starting pistols that fire them into action. But when the electrical connection weakens, those cylinders start stumbling, misfiring, and wasting fuel with every incomplete combustion cycle. Here's a detail nobody tells you. Spark plug wires and ignition coils deteriorate gradually, creating resistance that steals power from the spark just when your engine needs it most, leading to rough idle, poor acceleration, and gas mileage that mysteriously gets worse over time. Run your hands along plug wires, feeling for cracks, brittleness, or soft spots where moisture can penetrate. And on coil-on plug systems, check for corrosion around connections and cracked rubber boots that let water seep into sensitive electronics. For a dramatic nighttime test, mist suspected wires with water and look for visible sparks dancing along damaged insulation. Strong spark means complete combustion and maximum power. Weak spark equals wasted fuel and gradual engine damage. Tip number 11. Clean throttle body and MAF sensor. Your engine's throttle body is like the mouth of a marathon runner. When carbon deposits build up around the edges, airflow gets restricted, and the entire breathing process becomes labored and inefficient. But the devil's in the details. Modern engines rely on precise air measurements from the mass airflow sensor to calculate perfect fuel delivery, and when this delicate sensor gets contaminated with oil vapors and particles, it starts lying to your computer about how much air is actually entering the engine. Remove the air intake tube, spray throttle body cleaner on the butterfly valve, and bore while holding the throttle open slightly, but never touch MAF sensor wires directly. Use only specialized MAF cleaner and let them air dry completely. These sensors are incredibly sensitive to contamination and physical damage, so gentle cleaning is essential. Clean airflow sensors mean accurate fuel delivery, smooth idle, and responsive acceleration. Dirty sensors create a cascade of problems that frustrate drivers and mechanics alike. Tip number 12. Treat fuel system. Picture microscopic varnish and carbon deposits slowly choking your fuel injectors like plaque building up in arteries, restricting the precise fuel spray patterns that modern engines depend on for clean, complete combustion. Don't tune out yet. This invisible contamination doesn't just hurt performance. It creates hotspots that can damage pistons and valves while forcing your engine to work harder to produce the same power output you're used to getting effortlessly. Add a reputable fuel system cleaner to your tank before filling up completely, allowing the treatment to mix thoroughly and circulate through your entire fuel system during normal driving, dissolving deposits and restoring proper injector spray patterns over several hundred miles. Choose cleaners with polyethylene amine detergents that actually dissolve buildup rather than just suspending it temporarily in the fuel. Premium gasoline contains detergent packages that help, but dedicated treatments provide concentrated cleaning power that prevents expensive injector replacement. Clean injectors spray precisely. Dirty ones waste fuel and power. Tip number 13. Listen for strange noises. Most drivers cruise around with music blasting and windows up, completely oblivious to the early warning system their engine provides through sound. But experienced mechanics can diagnose problems just by listening, because every component failure has its own acoustic signature. Here's an expert secret that separates smart car owners from expensive repair victims. Turn down your radio, roll down the windows, and actually listen to what your engine is telling you during different operating conditions. Knocking sounds during acceleration indicate dangerous pre-ignition that can destroy pistons. Rapid ticking suggests hydraulic lifter problems or low oil pressure. Squealing usually means belt slippage. And grinding noises often signal bearing wear that requires immediate attention. But we're not stopping there. Timing matters as much as the sound itself. Pay attention to when noises occur: startup, idle, acceleration, deceleration, or turning, because each condition stresses different components and reveals specific failure modes. Your car talks constantly. The question is whether you're listening closely enough to hear problems before they become catastrophes. Tip number 14. Drive the car hard occasionally. Contrary to popular belief, babying your engine with gentle acceleration and low RPMs actually creates more problems than it solves, allowing carbon deposits to build up on intake valves, combustion chambers, and exhaust ports, like soot accumulating in a fireplace that never gets a hot fire. But listen to this. Engines are designed to operate efficiently across their entire RPM range, and occasional spirited driving performs what mechanics call an Italian tune-up, burning off carbon deposits and freeing sticky piston rings that get gummed up during constant low-speed operation. After your engine reaches full operating temperature, find a safe stretch of highway and accelerate briskly through the gears, holding higher RPMs for several minutes while maintaining legal speeds and safe following distances. This high-temperature operation vaporizes carbon buildup, exercises all engine components through their full range of motion, and keeps internal passages clear of the deposits that form during excessive gentle driving. Gentle every day creates problems that spirited driving prevents. Your engine needs exercise to stay healthy. Bonus tip number 15. Clean and protect electrical grounds. Here's the invisible problem that creates more mysterious electrical gremlins than any other single-cause corroded or loose grounding connections that turn your car's electrical system into an unreliable maze of intermittent failures and phantom symptoms. Modern vehicles depend on dozens of ground points where electrical circuits complete their paths through the car's metal body, but these connections corrode over time from road salt, moisture, and galvanic reaction between dissimilar metals, creating resistance that makes sensors read incorrectly and computers behave erratically. But we're not done yet. The symptoms appear random and unrelated: flickering lights, false sensor readings, weak fuel pump operation, transmission shifting problems, or engine management issues that disappear and reappear without obvious cause, sending owners and technicians on expensive wild goose chases. Locate major ground points near the battery, engine block, and body panels, unbolt them one at a time, wire brush both surfaces until they're bright and clean, then reassemble with dielectric grease to prevent future corrosion. Strong grounds are invisible until they fail spectacularly. That's your complete monthly routine. 14 simple habits that quietly add decades to your engine's life without expensive miracle products or complicated procedures. The drivers who follow this routine religiously are the ones bragging about 300,000-mile cars that still run like new, while everyone else wonders why their engines fail at 20,000 miles despite proper maintenance. Final disclaimer: this content is not professional advice. Consult a qualified automotive technician for specific vehicle concerns and repairs.